Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here, and welcome to my 100% full game walkthrough for a game called The Touryst, which is available as a part of Xbox Game Pass, and this game is actually optimized for the Series X and S, which is pretty cool. In this video, I'll be taking you through the entire game, making sure to do all of the objectives, but also grabbing all of the achievements along the way, as there are a couple that you can miss. During the middle of the playthrough, there are a couple of achievements that are a little bit more skill-based than some of the other ones, but overall, I think most people should have a pretty easy time getting through this one. Another cool thing about this game is that it's actually also really good, which is fortunate, and right as we start, you're kind of thrown right into the game. I'm also going to flip my vertical camera because I need that. It's a pretty basic game where you move with the left stick, jump with A, and look around with the right stick. And the first thing we're going to do is grab this coin on the left tree from where we entered. Once you grab the coin, we can now go into the shop, which is this store right here. Once inside, just grab the book, which is the Free Climbing for Tourists book. And we can now drop down and leave and go towards the large monument across the small bridge. Once out back in the monument, you can climb up here, and we'll actually end up on top, and there is a puzzle up here. So for this puzzle, all you have to do is look in the distance, and that is the solution, which will be the same for everyone. We're going to reset this, actually. So click in this top one, click in this middle one, and then click in the 3 on the left, and that should open it up and shoot you in. A lot of this game is kind of this mystery adventure game. It's actually a really great game, and I highly recommend you enjoy it. Once inside, just grab all 4 of the coins. Once you do that, it will spawn a little bit of a light here. And what we need to do is get this light to shine on the kind of red switches. That will change the colors of each switch. And we have to change all 4 of them. This is a little bit time sensitive, so make sure you're quick. If you don't get all 4 of them to turn blue at the same time, you won't be able to continue, and you'll have to kind of keep running around in circles. Once that happens, just allow that to explode. You can now grab things with Y, and what we're going to do is we're going to throw it. So just throw it up and towards the kind of red there, and then we can jump up, grab it again, and put it into the wall, and that will open it up. So that's pretty simple. This is kind of like the first little monument. These are called monuments, by the way. And then you can open up the door and continue deeper into the monument to meet the old man who has been stuck in here for a while. For most of the dialogue in this game, I'll just be skipping through it to get through as quickly as possible, but you're free to obviously enjoy all of this extra dialogue if you prefer to. Once you are able to, jump on the red cube, and that should kind of start this little projection. And the tourist will mention, what he knows about monuments and whatnot, and he will give you a travel guide for one of the other islands called Ibiza, and we're just going to be traveling from island to island, completing all of our objectives. At this point in the game, we also unlock the to-do list, so press start, and you can now go to your to-do list. We will require 100% of the to-do list to be done in order to get 100% of all of the achievements. So this is a screen you can always come back to. Once you're done, feel free to talk to him if you want. He's just going to ask you to bring stuff back from other monuments, but you're pretty much free to leave now, and you will open a large door kind of on the side here, and we can always enter back into the monument from that door. Once we leave, we should be able to locate this 1 coin sitting out here, so we'll grab that coin, which will bring us to 5, and then we can head back into the store, and in the store we can now afford the camera. So we'll buy the camera with 5 coins, and then he's going to tell us he has a job for us, so make sure you ask him to tell you more. He will now ask you to take pictures of monuments, which you can trade in for money. So jump on this little pillar right here. While you're here, we're going to bring out the camera with the back button, and we're going to take a picture of the monument that had the kind of answer to how we unlock the first tower. So this is the Towa key. And we can use the right trigger to take a picture. And then we'll actually take a picture of the large monument. So take a step back from it, and then try to get the whole monument in the frame here. And this one is called Towa. So we will then press the trigger in order to take a picture of that. And now with both of these pictures, we'll head into the shop. and we'll just sell them back to the owner here. And you can show him your pictures, and he should give you, I believe, 8 coins. Perfect. And now that we've done both of those, we can leave out here. There's a coin you can grab on one of these trees if you prefer. We'll grab it here just to have it for later, just in case. So if you're on these little boards, you can hold A to get a lot more height. You can snap over this tree, snap over this tree, and we're good to go. We can now leave the island by heading over to the boat. And once we're on the boat, he'll ask us where to travel. So we'll travel to the only other place we can, which is now Ibiza. The art style of this game is super cool. The audio is really great. It's a fantastic game overall, so I hope you're going to enjoy it as much as I do. And we should unlock our very first achievement right here, worth 50 gamer score. Now at this point, we can go right onto the island, and we can go forward and to the right, and cross the bridge onto this kind of small section. There is a guy here with a metal detector, so we're going to talk to him really quickly. And he mentioned that there are coins on the beach nearby, hidden in the sand. Perfect. So now let's go find some. If we just go not far from him, we should be able to see this little area here, and we can just walk around in circles to dig up a coin. The coins will jump out of the ground, and we'll get another achievement. There are a couple of spots on the island with these coins that we can just kind of walk around and dig up. From now, what we're going to do is we're going to head forward and back to kind of where we came. You can take a picture of this monument, but we'll grab it later. Instead, what I want to do is I want to pull some of these fruits out. So there is a watermelon right here. So we'll grab the watermelon and bring the watermelon. We're going to go make a smoothie with the smoothie shop. So we'll bring this watermelon. We also need, we need 2 watermelons and a strawberry at this smoothie shop. So if you talk to the smoothie shop owner, we will drop the watermelon and talk to her. She's going to give us the quest, essentially, to help her find the fruits. And she is going to need 2 watermelons and a strawberry. So now we can grab and we can give her the watermelon. That's 1. We'll then go find more fruit. So to do that, we can actually just go across this island right here. And then back here, there is a strawberry. We'll pull it out, we'll grab it, and we'll deliver it. Now we just need 1 more watermelon, so walk towards the large monument straight from the smoothie shop, and there should be another one right here buried in the ground. There are, I think, 3 or 4 of these, so you don't have to pull this exact one, but I found it to be the easiest to find and the closest to the smoothie shop. At this point, if you give them the 2 watermelons and the strawberries, you will get the smoothie. And you will get a smoothie as a reward. So we now have a delicious smoothie from the Smoothie Hut. Now what we want to do is maximize the party, which is kind of right behind us here. There's a DJ playing the songs. People are dancing, but they could be having a bit of a better time. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug in the plug here from the one speaker, connect it. We're going to plug in the other plug from the other speaker. If I can find it here. Won't let me grab it. It's kind of stuck in the ground, but once we pull it out, grab it and connect it, you'll see the party meter filling up, so we're just gonna have to get that to full. On the left side of the stage, use the little pull handle, and you can do that on both sides if you want. So we're gonna do it on both sides. This will kind of mist the dance floor. There's also these 4 kind of lights on the dance floor itself, so grab those 4, and this will maximize the party. We can now talk to the DJ, look at the people, they love my set, and he'll ask you for some new music. So you can now see that in your to-do list. So you'll see here that he wants 5 new songs, and I don't think he gives you this unless you maximize the party first, so make sure you do that. And now what we can do is go talk to the soccer player. So running away from the music set, we can run this way towards the middle of nowhere, and there is this singular guy over here wearing what looks to be a Argentina jersey. So we'll talk to him, and he will mention that he only plays with other soccer players. He doesn't like tourists, so we'll have to, you know, it'll add something to our objective. Here you can get a coin, dig it up from the ground to get some more coins. We'll need that for later. And now what we can do is deliver the smoothie. And the smoothie was actually our objective to the kind of gatekeeper of the next monument. So he wouldn't have let us up the elevator unless we made that smoothie, but we kind of skipped the step where he would tell us that he needs that smoothie. So if you go towards the huge monument and talk to the worker at the front, he will want your smoothie. So now that we have it, we can just give it to him. All right, now that we have the smoothie, we can just talk to him right away, and he will give, you know, he will let us now ride the elevator. So use the elevator right next to him. Get inside and then use it to go up. And now here there is a puzzle. This puzzle might not seem immediately obvious, but we need to stack some rocks into these little squares. So we're going to pull the rocks up from the ground here. You can try to pull all the rocks or just do one by one, up to you. I'll just, oh, I didn't mean to throw that, but we'll go back for it anyways. You need to, if it's not obvious, you need to put the rocks on the squares in the same pattern as the pillars on the outside. So we're going to have like 2 in this bottom right corner, 1, 1, and 1. Hopefully that makes sense. We will only need 5 rocks. Oh, I keep throwing that one. I don't know why. You can also grab this coin that's just kind of hanging out on its own here on the tree, but we'll grab that later. I don't want to worry about it just yet. And once you have this puzzle solved, it should open up the monument for you, and we can now head inside. This monument's actually a little bit difficult, but hopefully it's not too bad. Just jump across for now. Once you're here, 4 of the boxes will turn blue, and then you need to tap them in any order. Don't touch the water, don't touch any other boxes, and that should turn them red and drain the water out for you. They will fade from blue to nothing, so make sure to try to be quick. And then we have a little bit of a quote-unquote boss battle at this point. We can also grab these and drop. Essentially what we want to do is put them on the ground in a place where this boss will try to stomp us. And instead of stomping us, he stomps these red boxes. Getting the spacing on this can be a little bit difficult. You can try to essentially just push them or grab them and hold on to them. And there we go. That's 1. Again, this is, it looks kind of difficult, but it's not too bad once you kind of get into the groove of stuff. There we go. Grabbed all 4. That took a lot longer than it probably should have, but wasn't too hard. Just try not to get smushed by the boss as it's stomping around. Pick up all the coins on your way out of the monument. We can now open the monument and leave out the door. There is a little bit of a puzzle here. You can see this platform, and this platform moves based on your jumps. So when you jump, you have to kind of move with the platform. And that's the same for these as well. So you're going to see this platform, and I'm going to jump it back, but then I'm going to jump and move forward to fall onto it. I'm going to jump and move forward again. Now I have to jump and diagonally catch myself here, and then I can finish off by going forward, reading the monument, which is to release the core. And then this will kind of open up this section right here. Some of the lights will turn on so I can see a little bit better. And once that all opens up, we can kind of jump up and grab this. This is one of our kind of 4 main monument cores. So now that I grabbed it, it's going to kind of shoot me back out. and I have completed the monument. And what we can do is we can grab that coin I mentioned on this tree on the way down. If we want, we don't have to if we don't want to. And then we'll jump down. We will quickly take a picture of this monument. So you have to stand pretty far back for this one to be in the photo. Here's a pretty good place usually. And if you can take a nice picture of this monument. Now, after you take a picture of the monument, look down and to the left, and you'll see the attendant. His name is Dave, so get a good picture of Dave. Make sure it says his name nice and green. And we'll grab a picture of him. We don't actually need it right now, but we will need it later for an achievement, so why not grab it here while we're here. With your picture of Dave, you can now head back to the boat, talk to the captain, and travel back to Touryst Island. Back at Touryst Island, we can do a couple of quick things. We don't have to spend too long here. But the first thing we'll do is go to the store and sell our picture, which is pretty useful. Just to have a little bit of extra money with us, pulling it forward. Now we can go to the first monument we did and talk to the old man inside. We're basically going to be delivering the monument core to the old man. So he wants you to put it onto the glowing pedestal, which is the red one in the corner. And then it'll open up kind of a second pedestal. Obviously there's 4 pedestals because there's 4 monument cores. So we need 3 more to get this thing running. He's going to ask us if we love seeing new places, and he will give us a travel guide to Santorin, which is kind of the next island we'll be heading to. Now, there's also an achievement in this game for talking to 40 different people. We're going to talk to some people on this island before leaving, just so we can kind of make our way, through that achievement. So here we'll talk to the lifeguard. Just talk to him, and you can now run away. And there's this girl here hanging out beside these 2 palm trees. We'll quickly talk to her, and she doesn't really offer much to us either. If you want to do a quick achievement check, we are at 25% for that achievement. So we have talked to about 10 people. We can now head onto the boat and head to Santorin by using our travel guide and the new location. Once at Santorin, there's going to be quite a few things to do, but we're going to just kind of focus on the main objective for a while. So just run forward straight across the island. You'll notice that there is a deep dive store. We can hop on top of it for a quick coin if we want. We don't have to, but it helps out. And then jump on the boat and talk to the scuba dive instructor, Claude, and pay him 5 coins to take the trip. And this will kind of bring us out to sea, where we'll do a bunch of puzzles underwater in order to, obviously make progress with the game. This part's kind of cool. I liked it the first time I did it, but after the 3rd time, which is right now, it's a little less fun to look forward to, but nonetheless, I hope you, are able to do this faster because of the guide. So as soon as we park, we can kind of head into the boat, and then we'll come out with our scuba suit on. We can then jump in the water and dive down. Now, once we dive down, there's kind of 3 pillars we have to find down here. I'm just going to swim straight forward from where we kind of dropped into the water. And if you do that, you should notice, a bunch of rocks and a bunch of fish. And there is a pillar here in the very middle with 3 fish pointed in 3 different directions, and in each direction there is a pillar we need to go to. So I'm going to go this way first to find this one. You'll notice that there is an anchor, so just grab the anchor and pull it. Keep pulling it, and it will eventually snap off and reveal a pillar inside of the water. Now what we need to do is we need to get these fish to come and kind of touch the pillar. So you're just going to basically lure them by going close to them, and then they will follow you, but if you go too fast or too far from them, they kind of lose interest. But as you bring them closer to this pillar, you'll see the bar on the pillar will continue to rise, and the fish that have kind of been converted will have blue eyeballs instead of the black eyeballs. And I think it takes about 10 fish or so in order to fill a pillar. There are 3 of these down here. Each one kind of works a little bit differently, but if you're able to get, let's get this last fish over here to come into the pillar. Once you kind of finish this one off, it will explode at the top in a little bolt of light, and it'll show you the kind of middle area as to how it filled up. So we can now go back to the middle and find the second pillar we'll go to, which is kind of just right off here. This one is going to be a lot easier. It's already sitting out here, but it doesn't have a fish topper. So we're going to grab the fish topper. If you're not moving and you tap A, it makes you go up. So we'll go up a little and then fall down onto the fish topper, which we can grab. And then we can bring it up onto the top of the pillar. And now it will start converting the fish over. So, you know, we're going to need to fill up this tower with about 10 fish again. And just lure them over. Make sure they get nice and close. And those eyeballs turn dark to mean that they are ready. And now that pillar is done. So if we come back to the center area, it will have 2 out of 3. And then what we can do is head to the one direction we haven't done yet. I haven't moved my camera angle, by the way, so I'm at default camera angle. And then this is the third pillar, which is the kind of default easy one. It's already built, and it's already easily accessible. So just get those 10 fish to come to it in order for it to be filled up. And then obviously once it's filled up, I did actually move my camera there just in case you were wondering. But once it's filled up, you'll have all 3 out of 3. So one more fish should do the trick here. One over here that seems kind of close. That will fill up all 3 fish in the middle of the underwater area. They will begin to rumble and shake, which means you have completed the task. And you will reveal the monument up here. But as a result, unfortunately, the bridge will collapse. So we're going to need a new skill now, which very conveniently and very obviously makes its way to us. So as soon as that happens, just tap A while not moving to ascend to the top of the water. And then once you reach the top of the water, you will automatically be placed near the boat. And then just jump up on the boat, talk to the instructor, and ask him to return to the island. Now, as soon as we return to the island, there will be a ringing phone right near us. So we will grab it, and it will be Axel from the shop on Touryst Island, letting us know he has some new inventory. Very, very useful. Now, what we can do is, as we kind of get back onto Santorin near the middle, jump up on these rocks. Pull out your camera, and you should be able to find the new monument called Zia. So we're going to take a picture of Zia and back out. And then near the kind of dock, there is a club. We're going to talk to the bouncer here out front, as we do need to talk to 40 people. We'll grab the coin in the bush next to him, and we can now leave back to the island. So once we get back to the island, we're going to obviously go to Touryst Island, not Ibiza. And once we're here, we can do a couple of quick tasks. But most importantly, and pretty obviously, we're going to go to the shop. And there will be a new skill for us to buy here. The skill in the shop is the ability to sprint, which costs 15 coins. So you can hold RB in order to sprint now, and we can talk to the shop owner to show him our photo of the Zia monument. He will give us 4 coins, so we're at 19 now. And feel free to practice sprinting, but you can hold RB to sprint, or you can not move, hold RB to gain speed, and then let go to kind of use it all at once. So those are the 2 ways you can sprint. We can now head back to the boat, use the travel guide, and head back to Santorin. Once at Santorin, we are going to walk forward and to the right. There will be a couple here at the bottom of the steps we can talk to. Once we talk to them, they're going to ask you where they should go for their honeymoon. Just show them the travel guide. Pick Touryst Island. It doesn't matter what you choose, but they're going to tell you that they basically don't want to go there. But it will add a item to your to-do list, which is going to be useful for later, just keeping track of everything, making sure we have it. Once up here, you can find a coin in the bush. And you can talk to this worker here as well, who will tell you you can't make it across, but obviously we have sprint. So we're just going to sprint and jump, and we can now make our way into the Zia monument. And here there are a bunch of puzzles and a little couple boss battles. But if we pick up this rock, we're going to have to be throwing rocks quite a bit. So you're going to learn how to throw. So we're going to throw this rock right onto the water spout to block it off, and then we can walk forward. Here we're going to have to sprint across this gap right here. So you know, it's a little tricky, but hopefully it isn't too bad. We can pick up the rock now, throw it back to kind of where we came from, and then once it clears the gap, we can now sprint across ourselves to pick up the rock again, throw the rock onto the little water spout. The aiming is a little, you know, takes a little bit of getting used to, but block the water spout and then do the sprint jump back across, and we are into the next room now. Now here what we need to do is, you'll notice that as you jump it kind of moves, so we'll do a sprinting jump with a run and everything to make it across. Grab the rock, place the rock onto this pillar, and then do another sprint and jump to bring the rock and the pillar with you. Here you should be able to throw the rock onto the water spout and block the water, or not. And now we can sprint and run and jump our way back across to make it to the next room. Make it to the next room again. And here we have a little bit of a boss battle, so you're going to interact with the middle. Just pick up all of these and then throw them onto the ledge, kind of near the door. Just avoid the head of the boss, and you should be A-okay. Once you're up here, just with all the rocks, jump up onto the platform, and now you can just begin throwing the rocks onto all of the water spouts. This part's obviously pretty simple, but you definitely don't want to miss, as making your way back onto the floor without all the rocks on the platform will kind of reinvigorate that snake. So we're just going to take our time here and throw these rocks out. So that's 2. Some of these are a little bit harder than others, but hopefully they don't give you too much trouble. For the far ones, you do have to be kind of near the corner, and depending on your camera angle, it can feel like everything's kind of backwards, which is pretty normal. But once you're kind of on here with the 5 rocks, I missed one, you know, it's not the end of the world, but would have been nice not to. You're going to block all the water, and that should kill the boss, explode him into some coins, which we can now pick up, and it'll open the door, allowing us to move forward into the next room. And we'll go into the next room, and this is kind of where the monument core is. So we're going to use these cubes to kind of light up the way we need to go. So we're going to throw 1 cube here. We're going to throw the second cube that same direction as well. And then we're going to be able to sprint across and land here. We're going to pick up 1 cube and kind of throw it, like put it right here so we can see a little bit further. And then we're going to be able to pick up the second cube and toss it kind of further down, even further than we were. And we're just going to make sure we can see the edge here. And we're going to do a sprint across. And then we're going to make sure we see the edge out here. We're going to sprint across, interact with the button. Now sprint back and jump back across. We're going to pick this up so we can see the edge over here. There is no edge. We can just now jump up and grab the core as soon as the hand fully opens. And that will grab us a monument core, which will then teleport us out onto the kind of main island here where we were. We can now sprint back across and head down back to the boat. And once we're on the boat, we can travel now back to, of course, Touryst Island. And we'll drop this monument core back off with the old man. You can hold sprint and you can travel pretty fast, but if you do hit something while you're sprinting, it does kind of, you know, bounce you back, so watch out for that. Head inside. Interact with the monument here, or the little pillar, and you'll throw down the monument core. you will now talk to the old man, and he will mention that he has a new place for you to travel, but he's not sure if you'll actually find a monument core. He will give you a travel guide to go to Leisure Island. Leisure Island has quite a few things for us to do, quite a bit of missable achievements, and a decent amount of people to talk to as well. So that's what we're going to head over to now. Feel free to make sure you've delivered all the pictures you need to the shop owner, and make sure you obviously have everything purchased there, but if you've been following along, you should be good to go. So we're going to talk to the captain, show the travel guide, and head to the new island of Leisure Island. So once we reach Leisure Island, there's like a lot of things to do, but they're all really easy. I'm going to walk forward and talk to the guy in front of the travel store, just because we need to talk to at least 40 people. Then I'm going to talk to Bob, who is in front of the arcade, and he'll mention the arcade to us and how it works and whatnot. Then there's a phone to the left of him, and we're going to answer that phone. It'll be Axel from the tourist shop letting us know that he has some new items. Then we're going to take a quick picture of Bob on our camera, and we're going to take a quick picture of the captain on our camera. The captain of the boat that we use to get everywhere, obviously. And now we're going to take the boat back to Touryst Island, so we can go back to the shop and grab the double jump. So we'll head to the island, we will sprint forward into the shop. There will be a new book. Buy that book. It is 15 coins, and it is double jumping for tourists. You can talk to the shop owner just to make sure you've turned in all of your photos, but hopefully you have. You should have had at least 4 for him, by the way, by now. We can now head back to the boat and go back to Leisure Island. There are some achievements we're going to have to do on Leisure Island, but we'll get back to them a little bit later on in the video. I'm just going to try to get you through more of the actual kind of story for now. So head left and talk to the person in front of Cash to Go. Talk to the person reading the book next to them. Talk to the owner of the movie theater, and it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to click information and skip through the dialogue. Talk to the girl with the 3D glasses next to that. Then you can jump onto the beach and talk to this couple standing over here. And then talk to the little kid who will allow you to fly his drone for a mini game, which we'll need to complete. So you just have to steer this drone, and you have to press A to make it ascend. And then if you're not pressing A, that's when it will descend. So make sure not to ascend too high, or else it takes too long to drop it. But you're just going from area to area, following the little target markers. And then there will be an arrow showing you where to go from each target marker to get to the next one. And we have a timer in the top right corner that lets us know that we only technically have 30 seconds. The next one here is in the water. Try not to get too much height, or else again it could take a little bit too long for you to descend. And then from the water one, we can basically make our way all the way to the end, and a safe 10 seconds extra left over. And once you make it back, he'll reward you with a completed mission, or the Quadcopter Race is now complete. We can now head behind all of these stores, and we can now double jump, by the way. There is a garbage can here we can open up for a coin inside. And then behind this blue and red store, we can dig for some coins out here. They should pop out of the ground. We can now head, past all these stores in the back. Just make sure you don't fall in. If you fall in, you can just swim around back, so it's not a big deal. You can talk to this girl here on the edge of the water. She'll mention she sees something glimmering in the waves, and there is a bottle in the ocean. There are 4 bottles, but this will be our first one for now. So we'll grab it. You don't actually need to talk to her again. You can just leave her be for now. And there is this double jumper here we'll talk to get a mission from him for now. And then we'll just skip that. And there is this girl sitting here on the park bench in front of the gallery, which we'll talk to as well. There is a coin in the tree, and we will now head into the gallery. So head into the gallery and talk to the gallery owner and say you do have some pictures available for him to populate his gallery. We will need to pretty much populate the entire thing, but we can't do it all at once anyways. The first picture he will want is he will want a picture of Dave, who is the guy sitting at the booth in front of the elevator near the second island we went to. I told you to take a picture of him, but if you didn't, you'll need to go back and grab that picture. And once you have that picture, you can give him the picture of the waiting at an elevator picture of Dave, and he will reward you with 10 coins for doing that, and then put the picture on display in his gallery and reward you with 10 coins. We'll need those 10 coins, which is why we're doing this in this order. And he's going to ask you to keep bringing him more and more photos. The next photo he wants is a show me where you want to go photo, which is a photo of our captain. So you'll now give him the photo of the captain. He'll give you another 10 coins. And the next photo he wants is called Firestarter, but we do not have that available to us just yet. So we're not going to talk to him, you know, again, as we don't have that photo. We'll come back. But we do have to make sure we have at least 40 coins available to us. And with 40 coins, we can now go into the travel store. We can talk to the shop owner at the travel store. So we're going to do that. We're going to buy the first book to Fiji. And we're going to buy the third book, which is to Hawaii. If you want to do a quick, we can now leave the store. We'll come back to this island in a bit. But if you want to do a quick achievement check, we should be at 67% of the 40 people we need to meet, or more. You could have actually talked to a couple people I skipped for now. We can now talk to the captain, show travel guide, and travel to Hawaii. So grab Hawaii and we'll do a bunch of stuff there. And we are about a third of the way through the game now. Now, once you get to Hawaii, there's a ton of stuff we can do. Let's start by doing the ice cream man's objective, which is to bring him 3 coconuts. You don't know that yet unless you're watching this guide. But if you just run into a coconut tree, it will bring the coconut down to you, and we can then pick it up and bring it to the ice cream shop man. So if you just kind of walk forward onto the island and go to the left a little bit, you'll see his ice cream truck. And if we talk to him, he'll ask for some coconuts. So let's just drop it for a little bit here. His name is the Iceman. So just keep talking to him and keep talking to him and keep talking to him. And he will now ask for a couple of coconuts. So we grabbed that first one from near the beginning. We'll grab this one right next to him. And then we'll grab a third one kind of back here. So we'll grab this one as well. And then we can head back towards him and give him this third coconut, which will complete this objective. And then after we do that, we can do 2 more things. He'll give us a couple of coins. We can now take a little bit of a step back and take a picture of him. So make sure you take a picture of the Iceman. And make sure you go kind of away from him. And we can talk to this tourist over here. And you can say, tell me more. And he'll just keep talking, keep talking, keep talking. And then we can take a picture of him as well. So take a picture of the tourist. And now we can also talk to this person over here with the balloons, Enzo. Say no thanks for now. We can also grab the coin off of this tree. And now we're going to actually open up the monument here, which we can take a picture of as well. It's called Twin. It's not open yet, but take a picture of it nonetheless. And let's go open it up. Now, we can talk to all these people out here if we want, but it's not particularly useful because we have to talk to them later anyways. But you'll see that there's this kind of tower over here and a tower over here. We just need to interact with both of them, but they're kind of time sensitive, so just make sure you try to be quick and sprint between them. So, I grab this one, and now I'm just going to sprint across to the other one. You'll hear a little bit of a ticking clock. That means you're on the timer. So, just try to be fast. And if you do both of them, then they will both light up, and you'll get a small little, cutscene letting you know to do that it's opened, and now we can continue. So from here, what we'll do is we'll drop back down. We'll talk to a couple of the people down here now. We can talk to the surfers, and they'll tell us about a little bit of a surf competition. You can just keep talking to them for a little bit here. With every jump, you'll gain more speed. With more speed, you can do better tricks. You can, you know, keep learning about this, but we're going to have to do some surfing. But it doesn't really matter, so we'll just say no thanks for now. We will talk to this individual down here. Then we'll come up here. We can open the chest if we want, and we can talk to the referee. And we're going to say we are attending the surf competition. However, we don't have the shorts we need. So let's go buy the shorts. Grab the coin that we dropped down here. You will need at least 10 coins to buy the shorts. You can buy the shorts from the lady not far from the ice cream man. And we will talk to him. Yes, or her. It's a him. No problem. Here's a pair of shorts. Do you want them for 10? We're going to buy them for 10. And we now have the shorts we need for the surf competition. We can then go back to kind of where we came from and enter this hut where we will put our shorts on. And we can now interact with the referee again. Nice shorts. You want to attend the surf competition, and we're going to click yes. Get ready for probably the hardest achievement in the game. Now, personally, I don't think this achievement is that bad, but I've seen a lot of people online talk about how this was kind of the thing that was preventing them from getting the easy 1,000. What we need to do is get 10,000 points in order to win the surf competition, but most importantly, we need to complete a 540. So basically 1.5 rotations. What we need to do is all you need to do is steer and just keep doing 180s, and you'll automatically get drops as well. Do as many of these tricks as you can, and this will start building your speed meter on the left-hand side. Also, there will be a wave on your left approaching you, so just make sure you keep your distance from it as to not crash. Eventually, your speed meter will go from green to orange and then to red. Once you're in the red speed, that means you're going to be getting a lot of height on your jumps, and you'll be able to pull off the 540, hopefully pretty easily. Just make sure you don't accidentally crash. So here I'm going to start attempting that 540 now that I have so much speed, and as long as I land, I should be able to get that achievement for landing that trick, and I'll also grab at least 10,000 points in order to make sure I win the surf competition. Personally, this only took me around 3 tries, but just keep retrying the contest until you get it, or quit and come back later. Once you exit out, you'll be talking to the local surfers, and they'll give you a reward, and you'll complete a part of your to-do list. Alright, so from here we should be able to just now go to the monument and pretty much complete it. No idea what I hit there. So we will head into the monument and do it. You'll obviously want the double jump, which we grabbed way earlier, and I'm still dressed in my swim shorts, but I think that's alright. Now for these, they basically spin every time you jump on them, so we're just going to be spinning them to get to the end of the room. This first one's obviously going to be really easy and works mostly like a tutorial, and once you reach the last one, you can open the door and walk on through. For this one, we're also going to skip this first one, and then we're going to bring this one kind of all the way around. And then we can bring this one all the way around. We can now kind of double jump around the pillar in the middle. Double jump on that middle one, and then again, just bring it all the way around. This will bring us to the door, where we can pretty much exit out. And here, just climb up to the tower and press the button. That's one of the 2. This one is not timed like the ones outside, though. And we'll get respawned back right into the middle, where one of the 2 lights will now go, and we can now go to the blue side on the other side. This one, we just need to basically light up all the balls that are colored here, which will open the door, and often when we jump on them, they will start moving as well. Same goes here, just make sure we at least touch each one time. And then there's going to be one more kind of down here, and next room. They obviously get harder, but not too bad. So for this one, we're just going to kind of jump back and forth every position to grab the 4 outer ones, and then double jump to the middle one, and then double jump out. And then grab the pillar. This will be the 2 out of the 2 for the kind of first start of the monument. And then it will open up the kind of front, and there will be a final part, which isn't too bad. We'll walk right on through the door, And there's a little bit of a snake boss thing here, so we're basically just going to wait until he spawns eventually. And we're just going to bring one of these platforms to him, essentially. We'll first grab all the coins, which I think technically makes him spawn. Now, once he does spawn, if at any point you die, it just respawns you to the beginning of the room with the boss about to spawn, so that's why there's a small cut in the video. But the boss battle here is really easy. Just jump on top and then grab the light off of their head, and then just make sure you don't sink as the boss sinks. And all you need to do from here on out is basically just get this box and bring yourself to the end of the room. Shine the blue light on the kind of red square at the end of the wall, and then that will open up the door and you can exit. This does take a couple of tries, maybe a little bit of trial and error, but isn't too hard, I don't think. For this room, we just have to touch all 8 of the balls to open up the hand, and then that will allow us to grab the monument core. I would highly recommend making sure to rotate the camera quite a decent amount, as it will be, you know, a lot easier to make a lot of these jumps. Additionally, if you touch any of the balls twice, they will turn red and blow up. So we're going to kind of watch out for that. I will unfortunately have to touch this one twice, but that's fine, as we can just end up working our way back. And then I'm going to touch this one twice, which also isn't too big of an issue. And then I'm going to touch this one, which will ring us around. This one, which will open up the hand and bring us towards the hand. And once the hand opens up, we can just jump in and grab that monument core. Grab the monument core, which will then teleport us out of this monument. Outside here, we should quickly talk to the construction worker, which I don't know if that counts as the same construction worker as before or not. But on our way off the island, we're actually going to go into this little shop here to the left that says shirts. Talk to the person who works here. No shoes, no shirt, no service. That's fine. We'll come back. But if we want to quickly grab this coin that's on this tree, that would help us. So I'm going to quickly grab that. And now I'm going to go change into my normal clothing by going to the beach, going into the change room, and changing back. We can now head into that store where we're able to buy a shirt. We'll head into the shop, talk to the shop owner, and he will need 25 coins for a hip shirt membership, which we'll want to accept. If you don't have enough coins, you'll need to go searching for some on some of the islands that you may have missed. So now we have a member card to this store, and I'm going to quickly grab this kind of tuxedo instead of some of the other stuff. We'll come back for the soccer shirt and whatnot, but at this point we're ready to go back to the boat. I'm not going to go straight to Tourist Island yet. I'm going to hit up a couple of locations on the way first. So the first place I'm going to go is Santorin, and I'm going to just quickly complete one of our objectives while we're here. We'll also earn some more money by doing this. So I'll run forward and to the right and talk to this couple where they wanted to be recommended somewhere to go on vacation, and the place we're going to recommend them is Fiji. You should have the Fiji map from before, and they'll actually tip you with some coins for the recommendation, which is nice of them. We can now turn back around and head to Ibiza. We'll head to Ibiza. Once at Ibiza, walk forward and go towards the monument. On the left-hand side of it, there should be a crack in the wall that we can now just sprint right through. If you sprint through it, it will break it, and we can now go inside, unlocking an achievement. We can find this, golden cup or whatever you want to call it. Break it against the wall, and then walk into it to unlock the Ancient Scroll, which can be taken to a museum curator. We'll need that for later, obviously. And while you're here, you can do a bunch of stuff. We're going to quickly talk to a couple people we didn't talk to before. So if you go kind of around to the front of the dance floor, there's this sleeping guy, Martin, but you can actually talk to him. We're going to quickly take a picture of the DJ as well, since we didn't do that before. And you can also talk to that soccer player, which we should have done before, the smoothie operator. And we are pretty much good to go now. I'm going to quickly grab this message in a bottle right here, not far from the dance floor, so make sure we grab that as our second message in a bottle. Now, before leaving the island, we're going to want to grab as many coins as possible. So from where we entered, on the right-hand side, there's like a little mini island. There was some coins under the dirt. There were some coins under the dirt by the soccer player, and there were some coins under the dirt here. Now, ignore the amount I have. You'll have 4 less than me, at least, because I'm kind of filming this a little bit out of order. But next, you'll want to just grab all the coins that are kind of littered around the island here. So there's going to be one on this tree here that we can grab. There's going to be one on this tree over here in the island that we can also grab. So you can knock that off. And then there's going to be 3 kind of on this pillar over here, which is also very useful. And after this, we can also go to Touryst Island and turn in our pictures for another 4 coins, which I've already done kind of. I'm going to do it again in the video, but I did it off the video. I'm kind of filming this out of order, if that makes sense. And we are now good to go and run off of the island and head back to Touryst Island. Just make sure you grab all the coins off of Ibiza, as we'll need at least 20 of them to buy our next map. At Touryst Island, go to the shop, as we always do. Talk to the shop owner, which he will give us a couple coins for our photo. And we're going to go talk to the old man, now that we have another monument core. That will add 3 out of the 4 cores we need to complete the game. Brilliant, you have found another monument core. I'm sure you'll also find the last one. You don't have to do this, but just good to be ready. We can now head back to the captain, and we will head off to the next island. Next island we want to go to is Leisure Island, so we'll select that. And making sure we have at least 20 coins, as I mentioned before, as we will need to purchase something. Once you're here, we're going to quickly actually just go to the right-hand side. You can take a picture of the gallery. We'll kind of need this anyways. I am too close, so let's take a little bit of a step back. Take a picture of the art gallery. And then what we can do is we can run forward and go into the travel store. Inside of the travel store, we can now afford the guide to Soggy Island. And we can now head back outside, back to the boat, and we can go to our new locale of Soggy Island. So, we're off. Alright, lots of stuff to do at Soggy Island, which is great. We're going to run forward and to the left first, and we're going to talk to this guard. We'll also take a picture of him very quickly, so grab your camera and take a picture of the security man. And then what we can do is talk to them, and you will need a research license in order to gain access to this area. So we'll go to the Rain Lab in order to do that. Now, on the way to the Rain Lab, we're going to do a couple of things. First, we've just talked to the security guard. Now talk to the guy at the info, or Miss Patty at the info little boutique. Then what we're going to do is go just past here onto the beach. And you notice that there are some coins we can dig up. So dig up this coin here. Then there's a coin that sits kind of in the water a little bit, just on this rock. So grab that coin. If it lets me grab on, there we go. And then there's a staircase that leads kind of up, but instead of going on it, first go under it, and we can grab some more coins here. And then what we can do is start heading up. Once we're up here, we can go into the rain lab. Talk to the professor in the rain lab. And you say you'll need a research license, and then he will ask you to answer some questions. You will answer the first one with saying none of them. How many days did it rain last year? 365. And what number comes next? The number in the sequence is 20. If you get all of these correct, you will get a research license, which now grants you access back to the little pyramid there. If you jump off this ledge right towards the pyramid, you'll find another coin we want to grab. You should have the same amount of coins as me right now, roughly 16. If you have less, that's okay. If you have more, it's okay too, but you want to try to keep up with my coin grabbing. We can talk to the security guard again if you want. Now that you have a license, he will let you go around back, and you'll have to basically solve a little bit of a puzzle to gain access. You can see that electricity is kind of striking the top here, and we need to change the pattern of all of these trails in order for everything to connect down to the bottom. It's a little bit confusing as to how these work sometimes, to be 100% honest. But once you start connecting them, the first one especially is very weird to me. But if you just keep clicking on them, they'll keep kind of changing. Some of them you have to touch on their own. Some of them you have to kind of touch the one under it. And if you've done correctly, they will connect. I don't know. Just keep trying if you can't get it. But eventually, it should open up the pyramid door. I've just been doing that through trial and error every time, pretty much. You can now head inside. If you jump up on these pillars, you'll notice that they're numbered. And we have to do them in reverse order. So this one has 6 dots. Now we jump on the one with 5 dots. Then we jump on the one with 4 dots. Then 3, 2, and 1. This will start a transmission and open up the pyramid, do a whole bunch of cool stuff, and it will basically make it no longer be rainy on Soggy Island, which is great. And we'll be the hero they didn't know they needed. Alright, so Soggy Island finally is no longer so soggy. There's one thing we'll want to do kind of before we go back to, continuing with our to-do list. But you'll notice all the coins floating above us. We can't actually grab them. We'll unlock an achievement, by the way, for letting the sun shine. But we'll want to jump through the top of the pyramid, and then that'll allow us to fall into those coins. And we should be able to grab all of them, so we'll have more coins now than we did before. And now what we can do is head and do some more of the tasks on this island that we haven't had a chance to do yet. We're also very close to talking to 40 people by now, so that achievement's coming up pretty soon here too. There's a mine, but don't go into the mine. Instead, go up the mine. And up here, you will find 2 explorers. Take a photo of them. No more space on your camera. So what we can do is we can erase the photo of the ROK, which was the kind of the first monument we took that we already gave back, so we don't need that one anymore. And we'll take a picture of the scout, and now we can talk to the scout. We can talk to both of the scouts. They're actually 2 different people, and I personally have 40 people already. You may have like 39 or something, but don't worry, there's a helipad up there. We can talk to someone later. And anyways, we'll have to drop down and go into the mine to talk to this mine guy right here, which will probably be number 40 for you if you don't have enough. There is a rat infestation here, and you'll ask him to tell you more, and you are going to offer to help him. You'll have 1 minute to get rid of all of the rats. As soon as you go through the shaft, the time starts. Good luck. This will add a new objective to our list of to-do. So just walk into the room just right next to you. This minigame's not that bad, actually. What we're going to do is we're going to grab this kind of deck of wood, and we just need to get the rats to move into the little crate or the grate where they fall through. It's all right if they split up. You just want to try to get as many as you can, like kind of right off the gate. And you can always grab the last few little stragglers on their own. So just stand in the way to make sure they can't get past you. Get them into this kind of room at the end, and then just push them up against the wall so they don't really have anywhere to go. And they should end up making their way pretty automatically on their own, falling down. You'll obviously have a couple left over, but that's not too bad. It's easier to do them in smaller groups than it is to try to get all 100 of them at once. So here I have 10 more to go. And if we grab all of them within that 1 minute, we are finished. That is the rat attack minigame done. Not too bad. And now what we can do is we can actually head into the Diamond Cave tour. So just head into it, talk to the miner over here, say okay. And now what we can do is pretty much start heading down. So turn on our headlights with the left bumper, launch that rope, and start descending. You can also swing on the rope if you need to, but you should be able to just kind of double jump over here. Now, here what we can do is you can use the elevator to leave, but obviously we need to do all of this, so we have to reach the very bottom of the mine. So we're just going to be descending for quite a bit of time, actually, here. Again, just make sure you launch that rope. We are on floor 1, and floor 1 has 2 of these kind of, you know, little diamond gems. So we're just going to grab both of those. And we'll just be making our way further and further down, making sure to use the rope if we're not sure exactly where to go. So for here, we do need to go all the way over here. You can double jump and through the door. We can, again, take the elevator, but we're not going to because we have to reach the very bottom of the mine. So we're going to go to the next floor. And we're just going to continue on. So this is floor number 2. There are a total of 9 floors we'll need to complete. And there's a bunch of these diamonds on the way down. And grabbing them is advantageous because we can trade them in for coins, but we definitely don't need all of them. It will help if you get most of them, though. So feel free to try to go for them. If you don't get them all, that's a-okay. You'll have more than enough coins. But just make your way down to the bottom floor. I won't be commenting through this entire little playthrough, as this can take like 15 minutes, and you really don't need a guide. Just keep going down, keep using the rope, make sure to double jump to save yourself, and you can also sprint jump if you think it's going to help you. Once you reach the bottom of floor number 9, you are now done the mine, and you will grab the Manic Miner achievement, which is pretty cool, worth a lot of gamer score actually, and we'll also grab a scroll inside of this broken wall. Make sure to grab that before you ride the elevator back up, and once we have that scroll, we can pretty much exit out now. You'll be able to trade these diamonds in for some coins, so that's pretty useful. But let's just exit out first, talk to the miner on your way out, and then we can basically just head out of the mine and go for the boat. So like I said earlier, we're going to grab that boat to Leisure Island. There are a few different things we can do at Leisure Island, so hopefully you're able to do them as well. If you've been following along with the guide, you shouldn't have any issues here. The very first thing I want to do once I reach the island is actually go to the gallery and submit one photo. The photo I need to submit here is for Firestarter, which is of the scouts from the Soggy Island area. And I'm just doing this so that I can clear some room inside of my picture camera, as I'll need to take a few more pictures to submit, and your camera does fill up, so you don't want to, not have any room on the camera. So after you do the Firestarter, we're actually going to exit out and go towards the Cash to Go, where here you can trade your diamonds for coins. Now, the way this works isn't exactly clear to me. Every time I played this game, the amount he offered me was different. What I would recommend doing is scrolling to somewhere near the middle of this timeline and try to set that as your price. He may accept it or he may not. If he is not happy, I would recommend going down a little bit further and lower until he accepts the price. If you ask for too much, he will just get completely upset with you and not offer you anything. So you definitely don't want to do that. It's better to be safe than sorry, and all we really need is about 50 to 70 coins for the rest of the game. Go into the record store and buy every record available. They cost 10 coins each, and once we submit them to the DJ, we'll actually get 15 coins back for each one. So you actually make money doing this. So buy all 5 of the records available in the record store on Leisure Island, head back to the captain, and the next place we are going to travel to is Soggy Island. The only thing I want to do on Soggy Island is take a picture of the monument. The reason I went to the gallery was to make a new spot inside of my camera roll. So pick the rain monument and then we can leave now and we will travel back to a new island. So show that travel guide. And we are going to go to Touryst Island. Once at Touryst Island, we're going to grab a message in a bottle. So it'll be kind of to the left as you come off of the dock in the water just behind these 2 buildings. This will be our 3rd out of 4 bottles if you've been following along. We are creating a map if it's not obvious. And now what we can do is head inside of the store on Touryst Island, and we can trade the photo of the rain monument in order to make a little bit of money, which we don't actually need, but we do want to make some room on our camera roll. So we're going to trade in that photo and now head back to the boat. And the next island we are going to is, show that travel guide, and we'll want to go to Santorin. Now, once we get onto Santorin, the first thing we're going to want to do is take a picture of Scuba Steve, aka Claude, who is on the boat near the back of the island. He took us on our dive earlier on in the video. So take a picture of him now that we have some room in our camera roll, and you will want to head into the club. To get into the club, we will need to be wearing the nice outfit from earlier. We got it from the shirt store in Hawaii. and we can talk to this gentleman in the back of the jazz club. His name's Duke, and he wants to take the pretty lady in the corner on a little bit of a date, and he's wondering if you have any ideas of where he should take her. You're going to recommend that he goes to the art gallery, which is a place we took a picture of earlier on in the video. This will complete this side mission. Alright, so after that, we can now leave the club, and we'll go for the hidden scroll on Santorin Island, go on top of the club, get a running start, and then a double jump across the gap. We're going to have to do kind of the same thing here, but around the corner, and then we can head through this crack, go inside, pick up this, throw it against the wall, and grab the scroll. I believe this is our third scroll, actually. And we can now leave Santorin Island. I am going to go to Leisure Island, and we'll grab a whole bunch of stuff while we're there. So, I know we were just at Leisure Island, but now I have the picture of Claude as well. So I can use that picture to kind of do a couple more things than I would have been able to do the last time we were there. I also needed the picture from Leisure Island. You head back and forth from a lot of these islands. Once on Leisure Island, we're going to go to the art gallery. I think we can turn in like 5 or 6 different photos here. So we should have 3 on the walls already, which is Dave, the captain, and the scouts. The next photo we can turn in is Claude from the boat, which is the live and let dive. After that, we can, we'll have to wait for this. This kind of takes a little bit of time. Kind of adds to the guide in terms of time, but luckily this part's really easy. The next part's probably a little bit harder. After that, we can talk to him again. And the next one is a man with special taste. This is for the ice cream man. So you should have that already if you were following along with the guide. I made sure to point that out when we were there. You'll get some more coins for grabbing that as well. We're also getting rid of some of the picture slots in our camera roll, which is pretty nice. We can then talk to him again, and we can now give him a picture of the Touryst, which was the guy on the beach not far from the ice cream truck man. We'll get another couple of coins here, and we are slowly working our way to more progress for our full to-do list. Another photo we can give him is of Bob. Bob is the cool guy standing in front of the arcade. We have a photo of him from earlier, so we can we can give that over to him now, and that'll be another one. And then the last photo for now will be the security guard photo. The security guard was on Soggy Island to the left. We took a photo of him when we talked to him before he asked us to go get our credentials. And then last but not least, we can talk to him one more time, and we can give the Who is Laughing Now photo for the security guard. And for now, that's it. There are 2 more photos we need to take, but we'll come back, and we now finally have some room in our camera roll to work through, which is good. We're going to need a photo of a drummer and then someone else at the end here. But we'll leave the gallery, and now we will do the mini games. So head over to the arcade, and now go inside. We'll need to complete all 3 of the mini games to get the high score. You'll probably want to talk to Flynn, and you want to exchange some of your currency into tokens. It's up to you how much you buy, but I would just start with 15. You're probably going to burn through them anyways, and we don't need this many coins regardless. So you can even buy 30 if you want. There are 3 mini games. We'll need to get a high score on all of them, and Bob is the high score we'll need to beat. So the first one we're going to do is Fast RMX, which is a racing game. This one's pretty simple. We'll need to do 4,500 points, and this is basically just you having to do a flawless All right, and you do need a perfect run pretty much to get that high score, but once you get it, you are now good to quit. That is the high score in fast. So once we back out of this screen, we can now go to our next game, which is this first machine over here, and we'll do Jet Rocket Dynamite. And for this, we need 16,750. Insert a coin and get started. For this one, all we can really do is jump and hold our rocket boost. We're going to be grabbing all of the dynamite pretty much in every level. And we can also kill the enemies if we grab a gold coin. And then they'll turn into like gold. And essentially we'll be able to hit them and get additional points by killing them. So it's actually a pretty good strategy and probably recommended. But the gold coin doesn't really spawn in every level. So I'm just going to get this dynamite out of the way for now, as it doesn't seem to be spawning. And we can then move on to the next level. And basically we're just going to continue this for as long as we can. We do have lives in the kind of top of the screen right up there in the middle. And we just have to beat that high score within, you know, the allotted amount of lives we have. And then just watch out for the spawning enemies. That right there is kind of the gold coin I was talking about. When you pick it up, it will give you points and you'll be able to stomp out the enemies. So just continue until you finally beat the game with that high score.
And just like that, we should have that high score now. We're at 16,800. I almost didn't make it as I actually have no lives left. So we're cutting it pretty close here. But if we're careful, we can keep going and going and going with this mini game. I'm at the point where I'm just going to die now and grab that high score. You make sure that it's input into the computer or into the, into the arcade here, and it'll say you are now number 1. And we are now ready for our last arcade game, which is this one on the right-hand side, known as Nano Break. And the high score for this one is over 70,000. This game is pretty much a simple brick breaker game, but it has a lot of modifiers, and because of the high score, we will have to play it for a decent amount of time. The thing you want to prioritize here is just make sure you're always going for the ball. There will be a lot of little power-ups and stuff that spawn, but honestly, nothing really matters. Just keep grabbing the ball. That's your #1 priority at all times. If you do grab the laser power-up, you can tap the A button in order to use the laser, and then you can run. Just hold A in order to accelerate, and then use your left and right turns in order to turn on the track itself. There are 2 turns during this where we'll need to kind of slow down a little bit, so we'll need to stop holding A, but those are going to come up a little bit later on here. Try to hit every boost pad you can. This will just kind of help you go a little bit faster and make the checkpoints, a little bit more easily. You don't actually have to, win the race. It's all just based on the high score, and the high score we need, again, is 4,500. And you can see that our time is ticking here, but luckily there are checkpoints, and the checkpoints add extra time to our clocks. And coming up pretty soon here is a really fast turn where we have to let go of gas a little bit. And if we crash, unfortunately, we lose too much time for us to make it. So you're going to have to try the game again if you don't make it through. Grab all the stuff that's falling as you're waiting. And in a way, it's almost easier to do it this way because you're not as likely to lose a ball. And you can just kind of keep cycling the things that are falling. I'm having a real hard time with this last one here. It's not necessary that you actually go through as many levels as possible. All we need is that high score. And technically doing it like this, we are getting points. We're getting a decent chunk of points. We're at 27,000 now after the second level. Only 50,000 or so more to go. A little bit less. And again, just keep that ball alive at all costs. Don't worry about the power-ups. They are the second most important thing. And, some of the colored blocks are one-hits. Like, for example, there, you can lose a ball and there's really nothing you can do about it. But we're just going to keep going anyways. I wonder if you can just... Yeah, you can't hold that ball and just let them rain. So, yeah, unfortunately, because of all these little things falling, it is possible that stuff just bounces back at you, right away. Way too quick for you to make a reaction, unfortunately. And, yeah, that's all you can really do. You can just keep playing, hope for the best. Try to grab as many points as possible. And if you hit 70,000, you should be good to go. The laser is obviously really useful because you can just pretty much shoot everything out of the way to clear the level. Hopefully this right here is our last round. If we can just get a couple of good power-ups and not have to worry about this stuff kind of falling right at us. The laser, great power-up to grab, and hopefully we can just shoot our way to victory at this point. We are at over 70,000, so I'm not going to bore you with more gameplay. I'm just going to lose on purpose now. I'm going to just let the ball drop in. I think I actually lost a life or two already, so this might actually be my last life, and that might be a game over right then and there. It is. But we did get the new high score, luckily. We have the high score now on every single game. The racing car one is probably actually the hardest one, even though it is the shortest. We can now leave and talk to Bobo. And here we will complete our objective to, you know, the to-do list for Bob. And now we can kind of continue a little bit more with the game. So we'll head back to the boat. We will go to the travel guide. And we will go to Hawaii. And we're just going to Hawaii to go to the shirt store real quick. We need to change our shirt so that we can play soccer on Ibiza. So I mentioned that earlier, but if you just go to the departments or the shirt store here and go inside, you should be able to, you should already have that membership. I don't know why I'm talking to him. You can just take the shirt and change into it. The minigame high scores are really the only possible way you could run out of coins in this game. As long as you don't do like over 100 or 200 tries, you should be more than good to go if you have like a decent chunk of coins right now. With the shirt, we can get back onto the boat, and now we can travel to Ibiza. So we'll do that. Once at Ibiza, we're going to have a couple of things to do. First off, we're going to give the DJ the music that we bought for him. About, I don't know, 20 minutes ago in the video, we bought all of the records from the record store at the Leisure Island. And we're going to talk to him and give him the tracks. He's actually going to pay us back. He's going to give us a reward. So he gave me 15 for each album here, and I only paid 10 for them. So you actually kind of make money doing this side quest, which is pretty useful. I actually thought it was going to make a pretty big dent in our coin collection on my first playthrough. And then after you give him all of the tracks, you will get "And the Beat Goes On" as our done to-do list. And we can now go and prove to our soccer player friend that we know all about soccer. There's another mini game here where we have to get 15 goals in 60 seconds, which isn't too bad, but does involve a little bit of aiming, which in this game isn't always the easiest, as it unfortunately sometimes just doesn't aim perfectly, you know what I mean? So you're just going to be aiming and shooting the ball. This one's not too bad, but if you miss like a couple right out of the gate, it can be a little bit difficult to try to catch up. We need 15 in 60 seconds, so approximately one every 4 seconds. And your kind of shot kind of recenters every time you take a shot. So it's these middle ones you want to capitalize on the most. You can get like 3 or 4 goals in the middle ones sometimes. It's these side ones that I find very difficult, as they never, the aimer never feels like it's going where it's supposed to be going. But if you can get in a roll on this middle one, you can get like 3 or 4 goals sometimes pretty easily. So I definitely would recommend trying to capitalize in the middle one as many times as you can. And if we get to 15, which hopefully we do on this shot, we can actually get to 16 just to impress ourselves. Let me know in the comments what your high score on this one is, by the way. But if you get that 15, he will be very impressed with you, and he will complete your to-do list for how to play soccer on Ibiza. If we actually go to our to-do list, Ibiza should now be pretty filled out. We have nothing left. We have like the monument cores, a couple pictures left, and some stuff on Leisure Island we'll come back to. But for now, we're actually going to go to a new location. And we are going to go to Fiji, which we actually haven't been to yet. And I believe our last monument tower will be there, so it should be a good time overall. There's also a missable achievement at Fiji, which we'll grab in a second here. So go to the boat, go to the travel guides, and ask to go to Fiji. And as soon as we get to Fiji, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my camera. And I'm going to take a picture of the drummer kind of behind this group here. Obviously, it has to say drummer, and we can take the picture. We can back out now, and we can approach the kind of group and talk to them. And you'll notice that there is a drum, and one of the 2 achievements we have left is to get perfect on the drum minigame. So to do that, talk to the front man, and talk to him about the performance, and basically, we are going to say that we can help out with the drums, but let's give it a try. And there is a 1-minute minigame where you just press the left and right trigger, matching it to the beat, and as long as you get 100%, you will unlock the achievement. If you do really well, they'll be proud of you, and there goes our achievement as well, Drum Master. The only achievement we actually have left in this game is just to complete our to-do list, which it says we're at 61% currently, and we can continue on with Fiji for now. So after you do the minigame, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our 4th scroll. So there is a little kind of walk forward and jump up on these rocks and then go up and to the right. You'll notice that there is a little kind of platform on the back here. We can run through the wall, break it, and inside we will find the scroll. We'll have to pull it out of the ground, pick it up, break it, and pick it up again. We can now head outside. And if we jump kind of towards the island here, in the far corner, we'll see these 2 guys chilling out beside the boat. We can talk to them really quick. We have to finish the canoe test. So after that, we can head into this first hut and talk to this elderly man and ask about the test, the canoe test, exactly. And now we are going to do the canoe test. This is a 1-minute mini game where we have to pass through all of the checkpoints. And if we pass through all of the checkpoints within a minute, we will complete the test and get a reward. This one's a little tricky, honestly, especially with the turning part. But you're basically just alternating left and right, and then if you need to turn a little bit, just hold the direction you want to turn. So here I'm going to hold the right trigger a little bit so that I can turn. You probably want to adjust your camera, and you can always redo this if you need to. Not a great run, but honestly it doesn't need to be a great run. It's pretty forgiving with the time, to be honest, at least from my personal experience, but I'm probably gonna fail it. There we go. That was not a great run. You can always retry it if you need to, and if you complete that canoe test very poorly like I did, it's not too hard, you will be given a reward, and the reward is basically a paddle. So once we get the paddle, we can basically use the boat. But before we do that, I have to take a quick picture. What we're going to do is we're going to, there's kind of a watchtower with a little, information booth desk. And we're just going to head up that tower to the very top. And once we're at the very top here, we can pull out our camera and take a photo of Lifta, which is the next tower. And once we have that picture of Lifta, we can jump back down. And we can now go over to the boat. And now that we have the paddle, we can actually go into it and use it And we are going to basically paddle over to Lifta. And now that we don't have to go through checkpoints, hopefully it goes a little bit better. We're going to try to get as close to that little parking spot as possible. And now that we're pretty close, we can get out, double jump. We might want to sprint and double jump here. Now, once you're up here, you can click in this button to reset, but you might want to put on some headphones or turn on the rumble in your controller. There will be 3 blocks that rumble. So this is my first block. Yours will be different, probably. This is my second block. So I have 1 block here and 1 block here. And 1 block right here. So let's try to do that again. We're going to reset. We're going to do this block right here. This block, this block right here. Corner block. And this block right here. This is my unique answer. And if you do it properly, it will drop the block. And we can now head inside to the Lifta Monument. We'll just head around back and double jump our way inside. Alright, once inside the Lifta Monument, I don't think it's too bad. We're going to start by moving forward and breaking through this wall. Inside of this room, we're going to stack these cubes. Cube stacking is pretty important in this little monument, so you have to make sure you're aiming properly with the second cube so that they stack nice. Jump on top and open the door. In here, there will be these 4 platforms kind of above the water, and we're going to have to basically, you know, get all of them here. So these jumps can be a little bit difficult with the camera, but just use your shadow in order to use them. And then if you fall on the ledge by the door, we can open up the door. For this room, what we're going to need to do is grab the block, get a running start, jump, and throw it. Then we can just stand on top of it to open up the door and exit. In this next room, there will be another 4 blocks in the water we'll want to grab, so just make sure you get them. These jumps, again, can be a little bit weird with the way the graphics work, but just use that shadow on the ground to figure out exactly where to land. After you complete that, just make your way back to the beginning, grab the box, get a little bit of a running start, jump and throw it in order for it to land right near the door. Open up the door by jumping on the box. And we now have a little bit of a boss battle. There will be a worm underneath the ground. And we're going to need to sprint into the worm to break it apart. We'll need to do this 3 times in order for us to get 3 blocks that we'll need in order to make progress. Just make sure you stay pretty close, but not too close, so that we are within that sprinting distance. So there we noticed it came out once it was a certain distance from us. So that's actually, I guess, the strategy we're going to use. Watch out for the falling blocks. And just make sure you stay alive and the worm will come up again. And again, we're going to try to stay close, but not too close for it to come up and peek its head. And if we sprint into it, we can grab another box and we'll stack this second box right here. And then there will be one last worm section coming up. Make sure you survive the falling blocks again. Get a little bit of distance from that worm until it pokes out. Sprint into it. And that should be the fight done. With our final block, what we do need to do, though, is we need to throw it up onto this ledge over here. So this throw can be a little bit tricky in terms of the fact that you have to jump to throw it, and then we can jump up on here, double jump up onto here. Now, once on this ledge, we want to grab this and actually throw it over too. We're going to need to basically stack those double boxes over here. So if it's possible for you to just stack them right out of the gate, it will make your life a little bit easier. So that's what we're going to try to do here. We're going to try to get that nice double stack. And now we can get a nice sprinting double jump and exit out of the area into the next room. For this room, it's actually where the monument core is. It's not too bad. Just grab the light box and use the light box to basically just be able to see where you're going. And once you drop down this ledge, you can drop the box and go click the button, which will spawn the monument core. Then you want to probably pick up the light just to make it a little bit easier. And work your way back to where we came from. There is a small double jump here we'll need to make. So I'll just drop the box, double jump across, and now we can climb up on the monument core and grab it. This will spawn us back at the island, which this is our last monument core, if that wasn't very obvious. Well, once we're back here, you can just kind of swim back to where we came from, and we'll just head to Touryst Island right away. So just head back to where we came from. You can grab these coins if you want them, but I don't think we need coins really, unless you really struggled with the arcade games, but hopefully you didn't. Now go to Touryst Island. Once at Touryst Islands, there are a couple of things to do. The first thing we'll do is go into the shop to sell our photo of Lift a Monument. Sorry about that. There we go. Show photos, lift a monument. He'll give you a couple coins that really don't matter at this point in the game. And then we can go talk to the old man and turn in our final core. Although this is the final core, there is quite a bit of game left, as you can see by the timing of the YouTube video. We still have a little bit more to go. Go inside, put that last monument core, or the last 2 monument cores on the pedestals, depending on what you did. And now we will have a little bit of a story section. This is not quite the end of the game, by the way. You'll get a crack in the ground. You can now talk to the old man if you want. And there is a plug in the middle. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the plugs out. And we're going to plug them into the... cores, basically. We'll just pull all of them out first here. I think I might have put that first one in the wrong place. So we're just going to connect it here to the side. To the side. To the side. Oh. And once all 4 are connected, you know, some cool stuff happens. At this point, just jump down the hole. You can climb the ladder if you want to, but you really don't need to. There's a door on the side of this monument. Go inside. And here you can talk to the old tourist. Sit down in the chair once he asks you to and activate the screen. Unfortunately, you'll notice that we're missing something right in the middle here. That goes right in the middle of the console. And we'll get a printout of some coordinates. And these coordinates will allow us to travel to an island that we weren't allowed to travel to before. You'll have to actually walk over them to pick them up. It seems that the ancient computer display would... blah, 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 blah. Do you have any idea what this could mean? Yes, I do. Don't hesitate to bring it back quickly. And we can now leave. So just climb the ladders. They're kind of hard to see if you don't know where you're looking. But as you climb out, you should be good. And then just double jump your way out. As you open up and leave, we can actually go to the top of this monument. And there's someone new here. This worker was not here before. But let's take a picture of him. And this is the worker picture. We'll grab the picture of the worker. And we can now leave. And we will go to a new island. The island I want to go to first is Hawaii, because we'll be doing some outfit changes. So we'll go to Hawaii. Once at Hawaii, go to the shirt store and change into the worker outfit. You should have the membership already purchased here, or else you would have had a really hard time following the guide up to this point. So grab the worker outfit, which is this one right here. And then we can leave. Head to the monument on Hawaii, which is just past the shirt store over here. And talk to this worker. But now that we're wearing the worker outfit, he will talk to us and talk about the monument. And he will give you a couple of coins, which we'll need to grab anyways. And you can talk to him again if you want to, but he doesn't have any good information after that. Now we can go back to the shop, and we're going to change into the white shirt, which is this one right here. Now, as we exit, if you kind of just look forward from where we exited, you'll notice a boat. Now that we have the paddle from Fiji, we can actually go on this boat and use it. We wouldn't be able to use it earlier. And we're going to use this boat in order to get to that island off in the distance. So we're going to need a big turn, and then we should be able to just paddle our way there using those triggers. You want to land on the side where you can actually climb up, which will be this side over here where it's the shortest. And we're coming here just to get a scroll. So you can try to get up here if you want, and then should be able to kind of just jump up right above you, and then jump up onto the opposite side. And here, there is the broken wall. So we'll run into that broken wall, make sure not to fall off, and then go inside. Grab this, throw it, and grab the scroll inside. I believe this is our 5th scroll of the game so far. And now we can travel to Leisure Island. You can take the boat or swim, whichever one you think is going to be faster for you. I'm actually going to take that boat because it's pretty fast. You get used to it. And you can just go to the captain's boat to travel back to Leisure Island. So make sure you're wearing the white shirt, though, to go to Leisure Island. We will be playing a minigame that has to be using this outfit. Alright, like I said, Leisure Island, here we come. Once at Leisure Island, you can go into the gallery first. And here we can submit our 2 last photos. We're going to need to submit the drummer photo, which we took on Fiji. And then we can talk to him again once he's available. And we can submit our last photo, which is the worker photo that we took on top of the monument inside on Touryst Island. And we now have completed the entire gallery, which should be one of our to-do list items. This is one of the longer ones that kind of spread across the whole game. And this is called Faces and Phrases. With that done, we can now leave, and we will play the pull-up minigame, which is available on the side of the beach with this workout dude. So talk to him and complete the minigame. Now you'll start the minigame with the A button, and then all you have to do is press up and down in a, somewhat quick pattern. In order to do pull-ups, do at least 25, and you should be good to go. You want to be averaging slightly more than 1 per second. And I did 25 with almost 5 seconds left over. And now that is good. That will be the pull-up challenge that I talked about earlier. That is another thing off of our to-do list. If you want to do a quick achievement check, we are at 80% of the to-do list. And the next thing we're going to do is go to Soggy Island. So head back to that captain and go to Soggy Island. Once at Soggy Island, there's a couple of things to do for us here. We're going to go forward and to the right, and in the corner of the island there is a boat. We're going to use this boat to find the scroll here. So hop up on the boat, go forward, stay with the island by turning left, go forward again, stay close to the island. You'll notice that there is a kind of rock jetting out. I believe this is where the helicopter is on top. And you'll notice that there is a crack in the wall of this rock here. So we're going to have to park our boat kind of right in front of it. It can be a little bit difficult to get this exactly. But once you think you're ready, get off, charge your run into the wall, and you can now go inside and grab the scroll. I believe this is our 6th scroll. And now we can exit out, and instead of taking the boat back, we are actually going to go for a bottle. So if these are the stairs right here, you see the stairs, head towards underneath the stairs, away from them, and go behind this rock we were just kind of inside of. And here we'll find our 4th and final bottle, which actually reveals a new locale we can visit called Tiny Island. So, with Tiny Island now on our map, we're not actually going to go there. Instead, we are going to go to the helicopter and find out exactly where those coordinates will take us. And they are going to take us to our last monument. So head up the stairs, go across the bridge, talk to the helicopter pilot. And do you want to take a ride? Yes, I need some coordinates. Do you have some? Yes, I do. And now we will get up on the chopper and fly to the next monument. This cutscene actually takes a little bit longer than the boat sequences. It allows you to go from day to night and enjoy a little bit of scenery. I don't know if this is a loading screen just hidden behind a little bit of a cinematic, or if this is just for dramatic effect, but I thought it was pretty cool nonetheless. Kind of looks like a little bit of a helicopter, a Lego helicopter. And once we reach the next little island, there will be a monument, which we'll do. We'll also grab a photo of the monument. Don't forget to do that, as we need a photo of every monument. So as soon as we land, get out. And once we're out, we should be able to just snap a photo of this monument pretty much right out of the gate. And it's called Gravita. So we have a photo of Gravita now, and you'll notice that there's these kind of white orbs everywhere. Just climb the tower on the left side by double jumping onto the ladder. Here you'll notice a T shape, and that's kind of the shape we're going to need to make based on the shadow underneath. So we'll grab the lantern and use the lantern to catch these kind of lightning bugs, and they will start following you. You'll need pretty much all of them in order to make a long enough chain to spell out the letter. So try to grab all of them that you can. There's one left over right here. Now I'm just going to spell out the letter T because I already can. So we're going to make that cross. We're going to head back halfway through, and then we're going to make the end of the T. You can't really see me, but there I made the T, and we opened up the door, which now we can just head inside. Sorry you couldn't see me make the T, but I think that was pretty self-explanatory. You just go from here across to this, and then head backwards to the middle, and then head kind of down here to make the bottom of the T with the lights. And we can now head inside. For this temple, it's not that bad, but it's also a little bit finicky. Once you grab all the coins, this room will activate. So we're going to be blocking beams using these platforms that can move around when we stand on them. So we're going to stand on this platform, for example, and we're going to move it to block this beam right here. You can see the shadow of these platforms. That's probably the way you're going to want to sort this out. Now, there are only 3 platforms, so unfortunately, we are going to have to use ourselves for one of the beams. This is going to be a common strategy to get through this, by the way. So we're blocking one of these beams here, and we can now jump down through the hole and go through this next room. Again, activate this room by picking up all of the coins. So the coins in this room are kind of hidden underground, so we'll grab one stack over here. There's another stack over here. There's another stack over here. And once you get all 3 stacks, it will spawn a platform near the beginning from where we started. We can now jump up on this platform and ride it to the exit. Where you stand on the platform is how you steer it, if that wasn't immediately obvious, by the way, sorry. But we're just going to steer it all the way to the exit here, jump through the hole, and we're in the next room. Now for this one, what we're going to do is we are going to grab one of these cubes here to have on the left, and then grab one of them to be on the right. Grab the coin, which will allow us to ride this platform to the far corner on the left. So ride this platform all the way to the far corner. And where you're going to want to put a cube on it. That will allow it to kind of be up in the air to block the beam. And then for this one, we're just going to stand in front of it with a block. We can also just jump in front of it, but that should grab both of those. And we are now available to leave this room and go to the next room. And this is a little bit of a boss battle. You'll start the boss battle by activating all 3 of the coin pickups. There will be platforms that spawn and light beams on all 3 of these platforms. We will basically just block all 3 platforms to do a little bit of damage to the boss. And once we block all 3 platforms, we're going to have to do that for like 3 or 4 phases. And we are good to go. So there I have 1 blocked. I have 2 blocked and 3 blocked. That's going to be 1 health to the boss done. There will be some mechanics like the boss will start shooting us and rocks will start falling from the sky. But if we're quick about this, you actually don't need to worry too badly about getting hit. I unfortunately missed that. Try not to stay in the same location for too long. I noticed that that was kind of how I would take damage. So there is the second beam. Oh, I actually missed that beam on the right, even though it looks like it's basically figured out. Oh god, the camera here is really screwing me. Yeah, so I did actually miss this one just by a little bit. There we go, we blocked that beam and now blocked the third beam. That'll be 2 hits. And now for this last one, rocks will start falling from the sky. They kind of fall based on where you are on the map, so just try not to be in the same spot for too long. If you are, that's how the rocks will hit you. So we're going to block 2 beams. Watch out for the rocks, and block 3 beams with our body. And that should take care of the boss. Not too bad, but you got to be quick and make sure you don't stay on the same platform for too long. Once the boss dies, you can pick up the anti-grav unit inside. I don't know why they didn't just call it a gravity core. Call it an anti-grav unit. We are now ready to leave the island. Make sure to take a picture if you don't already have one. We already have one, so we are going to move on. We can now talk to the pilot, and we are going to want to actually leave. I accidentally clicked that a little too quickly. And once we leave, there are a couple of more things we want to do, so don't rush. We're not ready to go back to Touryst Island and beat the game just yet. We got a couple of small things to do. Once we're back here, we want to use the captain to travel to the new tiny island that we unlocked by grabbing all of the bottles. There was a bottle on Ibiza, there was a bottle here, a bottle on Touryst Island, and I don't really remember where the 4th bottle was, but we are now ready to go to Tiny Island. On Tiny Island, there's only 2 things to quickly do. First, go inside of this large yellow plane. You'll enter from the back. And there will be a safe on the wall we'll need to crack. Everyone's combination will be unique. But just start by pressing the right trigger one by one until one of the pins falls out. You'll feel a little bit of resistance and vibration in your controller as you get closer to the number. And then spin it the other way. Make sure you're going only one by one. If you hold that trigger, you'll probably overspin and you'll go past the pin we need to go to. Again, your combination is very different from mine. So, you know, just use this as a general strategy and not as the solution to your problems. 6 pins total to open it up. We will need the item inside, obviously. Just one by one by one. Eventually we will get there. And once we open it up, we will get the old parcel, which we'll keep for later. We'll then come out of the plane, and Tiny Island actually has a second tiny island next to it. We are going to go to it to find scroll number 7. And it is inside of this breakable wall. Go inside and pick up this item, smash it against the wall, grab the last scroll of the game. We are now ready to leave using that boat we, came here in. If we double jump across the water, it's way faster to get across. If you can try your best there, but it's, not necessary. And once we talk to the boat guy, we're actually not ready to go to Touryst Island just yet. Instead, we are going to go to Fiji. Fiji has the museum where the scrolls go. So that's going to be one of the objectives on our to-do list that we probably haven't opened up yet. So go past the drummers, and the museum is just kind of right in the middle of the island to the left. It's called the Monu Museum. Open it up, and then talk to the director. Give him the parcel. He's going to give you some coins as a reward. And you can now give him the monument scrolls. Once you do that, you'll have the monument scrolls done on your list of to-do. And we can now go back to the boat and head for Touryst Island. You probably know what we're about to do at Touryst Island. The first thing we want to do is submit the photo of the gravity monument. This will finish off one of our items on our to-do list. And if you've been following along, that is the achievement called Do It. This will actually be your last achievement in the game for 1,000 out of 1,000. However, I'm going to quickly show you the end of the game, as I am just as interested in it as you. So we'll go and talk to the old man. There's only about a minute or two left anyways. Jump down into the hole, climb up the little monument, and this is kind of, the point of no return. He actually allows you to go and finish your to-do list if you don't have it maxed out, so it's up to you. And we are going to go through some of the dialogue here, and then insert the gravity unit. You'll get some stat here about your to-do list and a diagram of everything you've done. Obviously, if this video has helped you get 1,000 gamer score in the Touryst, I would really appreciate a like on the video, and you're free to share the video with a friend. I'd really appreciate that, and that's how you can help me out without having to, give any money or anything like that. If you do, for whatever reason, want to support the show financially, I do have a Patreon page that allows me to, put money into better equipment so I can make these videos better and stuff like that. It's optional, but there for anyone who is interested. Again, thank you so much for watching. This is basically the end of our The Touryst journey, and I hope you enjoyed the game as much as I did. It was a pretty cool one and a big Game Pass, a pretty good game for Game Pass in my opinion. It was pretty short, but pretty sweet. Cool graphical style, and if you do have like a really great TV, it will be Xbox Series X enhanced, which is kind of cool. Start the engines to finish the game if you do have all of your achievements. If not, you'll have to go back and kind of figure out what you're missing. I did show everything in this video, so you'll know based on that. And obviously we are sure we want to start the engine, so press yes here. Again, thank you so much for watching. A special thank you to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show, and I hope to see you soon with another full game walkthrough. Thanks for watching. Peace.